I left Blizzard because of me being wished really some horrible things happened to me in real life and being belittled for playing what I like to play, and that's a Retribution Paladin, or in general, a Paladin. Hello everybody, Verdict here, and thank you so much for stopping by. Before we even begin this, to my Black Desert Online fan base that I've accumulated here, relax. And to everybody that knows me from my World of Warcraft days, nice to see you again. Now, this is a thing that I never thought I'd be doing. With all honesty, I never thought really that I would be going back into World of Warcraft ever, but this time around also, well, we're not playing retail World of Warcraft over at Blizzard's. Buckle up, I do have some very cool things to tell you guys about the server, and I do hope that you enjoy. But nonetheless, Turtle WoW, an honest review. Let's go.
Deep within the forests of northern Lordaeron. But 5 years ago, the undead scourge invaded Quel'Thalas and drove the elves to the brink of extinction. Led by the evil Death Knight Arthas, the scourge destroyed the mystical Sunwell, thereby severing the elves from the source of their arcane power. Now, a broken people. The only hope for the future lies.
Now, what you are hearing here actually is custom voice acting. These guys really went out of their way to hire somebody to go and do this, and really, it just pays fan service. It just pays ridiculous amounts of fan service. This is how your game even begins. Well, it's great. This is the starting zone right now of the High Elves, and it's absolutely great. Right now it's about 11 in the morning where I'm at, and of course we're looking at a very lively server. And speaking of a lively server, we're looking first and foremost, whenever playing on these fan servers, what's the population like? And I'm going to show it right now live to you. This is 2,100 people Monday morning, and I'm not even kidding you, yesterday on Sunday there were above 5k people. Battleground queues were popping, people were raiding. It's super live, it's super healthy, and not just that, it feels great and organic. There are a couple of very cool things about the server. First and foremost, when you go into the guilds, you are automatically joined into a guild, and not just that, you can see that there are warlocks in Tirisful Glade. You can see that there are warriors in Thunder Bluff at level 1. Yes, you heard this correct. All of the guilds are multi-factional. This means that you can raid, you can put a party inside of the game, invite all of your friends that are from the opposing faction. You can raid with them, which means, of course, balance across factions. That is so important. That is something that people have begged for into the classic community for years and years and years. And I am stoked to see that I can be a paladin, a red paladin, and actually have Wind Fury Totem on me in classic. Yes, this is a thing. So much so, in fact, that in the dungeons there is dungeon queuing systems. It's called looking for turtles, where you can really just explore all of the available dungeons. It's pretty much a dungeon finder system, but it just makes the party. So instead of you getting teleported to the dungeon, you of course just get to the party, and then everybody pretty much goes about their way on how to get to the dungeon. And now that we're at the middle section of the video, I kind of want to do a plug over here. I don't run ads on any of my videos. There's a Patreon down below specifically designed for that purpose. I don't want to tax you guys anything but your viewership here without annoying you with these. So if you feel like it, then maybe go check it down below. It would mean the world to me. Thank you. Let's get on. Now, this server has a lot of features, far too many to go over in one simple fast video. Now, I'm gonna just post the link to the server down below into the description so you guys can go check it out. They have hardcore mode, which is pretty much like Diablo's hardcore. You die, that's it, it's over. You can't go back to that character ever again. They also have a PvP war mode type of system, these types of glyph masters. They have Glyph of Exhaustion, which is pretty much the glyph prevents you from ever receiving rest experience, but your weapon skill gain is doubled. Glyph of War, you can no longer disable PvP mode, but experience gain from all sources is increased. Effect persists after reaching level 60. Glyph of the Turtle, you lose 5% of experience every time you die, and you get half the experience from creature kills. Now, why is this super important? You can really tune this to your own preference. If you want to play in a role play like, then of course you can just leave all of this out. If you want to pretty much harden your experience, there is that over here too. And if you want a PvP like a regular classic guy, then this is always here. Let's have a chat of how I actually found Turtle WoW. I went literally just out of pure ignorance after seeing a video online of classic plus clickbaity title, similar to what we did into this video. And what I did was, okay, let's just check this server out. Initially I was like, probably it's ridden with bots, probably it's this and that. I was very skeptical, and I went into the server and I first read what type of feedback do people have for the server. And so much so, in fact, that on the first feedback read that I did, I just really discarded the server and I said, okay, I'm not going back to WoW anyways. But after a week or two, I started reading more into it because there was something giving me like a feel that I should give it a go. And after I did that, well, of course, it's not ideal. Apparently this is a US based server, I think hosted somewhere in Europe, something like that. And the West being the West as it is, of course, it has a lot of political aspects to this. Now, this isn't really necessarily bad. Of course, politics is something that you can't avoid in real life, no matter if you want or not. Gaming is kind of an escape to this, but nowadays, of course, this is looking a little bit different. One to the reviews, I heard, and I quote, that this is a radical left platform. Now, I, of course, can't really say whether or not that is true, but I tried to poke the bear with the stick just to see if that would be true. I had a couple of aggressive, quote-unquote, arguments into the world chat. I had a couple of aggressive arguments onto the Discord, and I was never, like, slapped onto the wrist for them, no matter how you look at it. So, a part of really the notion that this can be a heavily censored project, so far I haven't seen any of that occur, at least to me. So just to get these types of reviews off the way, I don't believe this to be something like that. I myself am from the Eastern Balkans. You don't even need to know where I stand onto that spectrum. But nonetheless, so far, I've got no issues. Nobody has come into me saying that that joke was a little bit too much or this was a little bit too much. No, in fact, people were kind of laughing along the way. So much so that I don't believe any of these things to be true. Now, obviously, some people will have a different experience, but mine, so far, is such. Now, let's talk about a little bit about the PvP experience. So one of the main things that made me leave World of Warcraft Classic on retail was that, well, the player base was extremely toxic towards Retribution and Protection Paladins. That is something that I have played for probably 10 years plus onto the vanilla platforms before I quit. And with all honesty, over here, I haven't seen one person call me out for being a Retribution Paladin. I haven't seen one person make fun of the fact that I'm a Red Paladin. I haven't seen shamans on the opposing faction making fun that I'm a Paladin, which is unbelievable. I've been wished demise on myself for simply playing a Retribution Paladin, and I even have screenshots to that, but I can't really show them. But I can show this one where a person called me an utter freak for wanting my class to be better. And this was something that was not punished by Blizzard, and I felt like powerless because I would just go into Battlegrounds and I would go there and people would be like, I fucking hate Retri Paladins, you're useless, you're this and that. And over here, with the Paladin changes, which we'll cover in another video, well, things are looking really good. Things are looking really healthy. I haven't seen anybody belittle anybody else based on what they want to play. There are Smite priests playing this. There are Boomkins, cats. There are shaman tanks onto the server. And not that they are not viable and people allow them to go there. No, things have been changed. There are far too many changes for the classes. But nonetheless, it feels amazing. And I want you guys to really know this is a good place. If you want to start Classic again and you don't want to be at Blizzard's, this is a great place to give it a go. Be vigilant about it. Stay away from the problems of the real world. Do not go with hard, pretty much borderline edgy jokes. And yeah, respect people. That's it. That's it.